Hello, and welcome to the English mini lesson. Some of you may be watching on YouTube. Some of you may be listening on a podcast. And some of you may be subscribed to my Substack. Whichever way you got here, I'm happy you are here. 3 quick housekeeping items we will go over each time. Number 1, be prepared. If you are listening on the podcast, grab a notebook so you can take notes. If you are watching the stream, you can take notes or even screenshots. Number 2, pay attention. These mini lessons are meant to be just that, mini. They are not long and drawn out, so put the other devices away and pay attention to the lesson we are about to go over. If you are a paid subscriber to the Substack, you can ask any questions about today's lesson in the chat and submit your review answers in there as well. Number 3, this is quite possibly the most important message. You are the captain of your own learning. You only get out what you put into your education, but no one can ever take your learning away from you. Showcase your knowledge on this subject by completing the practice questions at the end. And as always, enjoy today's mini lesson. Hi, everyone. So we're going to go over some capitalization rules today. Now, today is going to be one of those times where watching this lesson is going to bring you more than just listening to this lesson. So if you are listening on the podcast, I definitely suggest that you go to either the Substack or the YouTube feed so you can watch it as well. Our English mini lesson objectives for today. We are going to go over proper versus common nouns and capitalization in direct versus indirect quotation. Capitalization. The question is always, what should we capitalize? Capitalization rules differ between common nouns and proper nouns. Common nouns refer to general people, places, things, or ideas that are not capitalized unless they appear at the beginning of a sentence. For example, words like city, dog, book, and teacher are common nouns because they refer to general categories or types of things. These nouns remain lowercase in most situations unless they start a sentence or are part of a title. On the other hand, proper nouns refer to specific names of people, places, organizations, or things, and they are always capitalized. Proper nouns include names like Michael, New York, Amazon, and Shakespeare. These words are distinct and unique, referring to particular individuals, locations, or entities. Capitalizing proper nouns helps to distinguish them from general terms, making it clear that they refer to specific subjects rather than broad categories. We capitalize the names of people, historic events, and abbreviations to show their importance and to distinguish them as specific, unique entities. Names of people are capitalized because they refer to individual identities, helping to clearly identify a person as distinct from others. For example, Albert Einstein is a specific person, and capitalizing the name makes it clear we are talking about this famous individual rather than just any person. Note, if a woman uses both her maiden name and her married name, the maiden name is listed first, and both are capitalized. Historical events are capitalized because they refer to significant moments in history that have a lasting impact on society or the world. For example, World War II is a specific event, and capitalizing it helps emphasize its importance as a defined historical period. Finally, we have abbreviations. They are capitalized to represent a shortened form of a longer title or name, making it easier to reference well-known entities. Abbreviations like NASA, which stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations, as well as United States, USA, and each individual state, are capitalized to maintain clarity and respect for the official names they stand for. Capitalizing these terms ensures that they are recognized and understood as distinct and formal titles. We also capitalize organizations. We capitalize the name of an organization, association, or a team and its members, such as the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, the Red Cross, Volkswagen, or the Eagles. Also, the names of subjects in a specific course, but not the name of the general subject. There are exceptions. The names of all languages are proper nouns and are always capitalized, like French, German, Latin, or English. But we do have an example up on the screen. My brother flunked American history. You'll notice the A and the H of American history are both capitalized because it refers to a specific course. But the social studies teacher said that she could let him turn in his work late, but she was fed up with his lack of effort in the course. You'll notice that social studies is not capitalized. First words. We capitalize the first word of every sentence and the first word of a direct quotation, but we do not capitalize the first word in an indirect quotation. When it comes to capitalization in direct and indirect quotations, the rules are slightly different. Let's go over the rules first of a direct quotation. The first word of a direct quote should be capitalized if the quote is a complete sentence. This is because it follows the standard capitalization rule for sentences. For example, she said, "We should leave now." In this case, the first letter of we is capitalized because it begins a complete sentence. If the quote is not a complete sentence or is embedded in the larger sentence, the first word is typically not capitalized. And another example, she said that we, and here comes the quotes, should leave now. In this example, the word should is not capitalized because it's part of a sentence, not a standalone sentence. When it comes to indirect quotations, the rules are as follows. When paraphrasing or summarizing someone's words, that's an indirect quotation. The first word of the quote is not capitalized unless it's the beginning of a new sentence. For example, she said they should leave now. In this case, the word said is part of the sentence and is not followed by a capital letter since it's not a complete direct quotation. If the indirect quotation appears at the start of a sentence, the first word would be capitalized, just like any other sentence. For example, she explained that we should leave now. In that case, the word she, which is the first word of the sentence, is capitalized. Capitalizing titles has another little trick to it. We capitalize the first word of a title, the last word, and every word in between except articles, such as a, an, or the. Short prepositions, the man on the platform, she arrived after dinner, and short conjunctions, and, but, or if. This rule should be followed for titles of books, newspapers, magazines, poems, plays, songs, articles, movies, works of art, pictures, stories, and essays. I have a few examples on the screen. The play Romeo and Juliet. You'll notice the word and is not capitalized. However, with the newspaper, the New York Times, the word the is capitalized because it's the first word of the title. National Geographic, both letters, the N and the G are capitalized. Bohemian Rhapsody, The Road Not Taken, To Kill a Mockingbird. You'll notice the word a is not capitalized because it is an article. And The Shawshank Redemption. In each of these instances where the word the is capitalized, it's because it's the first word of the title. Let's go over our practice work for today. A reminder, paid subscribers can submit their answers and questions into the chat on Substack. I have 3 questions here today. Which of these 3 sentences is correct? And again, you will need to reference back to the video so you can see the sentence. Number 1, Hannah, I really need to ask you something, she said as she was walking across the street. Number 2, what is it, Sarah? Hannah answered. I'm over here inside the garage. Or number 3. Well, Hannah looked down at the broken screen of her phone. The screen broke when it fell. Do you think we can get this fixed? I hope that you have enjoyed today's lesson, and I look forward to meeting up with you again next week. Have a great one, everyone.